Morning, everyone. It's Friday. It's the day before we start half term. We're on to chapter 7. The Wizards of Once knock 3 times. Chapter 7. Are they in the learning place for spectacularly gifted children, gifted wizards, or are they not? I can't even get my words straight. Caliburn had to give quite a long explanation about what was going on, about Sycorax and Encanto being in love once long ago, and the spell of love denied and everything. I won't go into it all again, because you, dear reader, know it already. Perdita was furious. You mean that's what you wanted my druid's tears for? Yeah, but I'd looked into the future, you see, and I saw that a curse would fall on the Wildwoods, and disaster and calamity would follow. It didn't stop the love from happening, explained Caliburn. The curse fell on the Wildwoods anyway, stormed Perdita, and I think that what we have here is disaster and calamity in spades. When will you ever learn, Caliburn, to be very, very careful about looking into the future? It can so easily end in tears, and you can't change it anyway. I know, said Caliburn, hanging his head. I really haven't learnt my lesson this time, have I? However, Caliburn ended rather craftily, he felt, with, but the children's ancestors are not the children's fault. And you have to admit the girl, enchanted objects, they're rather charming. Realising that it was its moment, the enchanted spoon gave a happy little somersault on Wish's head, and the fork and the key came hopping out enthusiastically, followed by the pins. They put on a lively little gymnastic display, trying to look cute in order to win over Perdita. The little owl, Hula, put a wing to her forehead and groaned. They are delightful, you see, said Caliburn. Very well-intentioned little enchanted objects, reflecting the character of the girl. But they're made of iron, objected Perdita. Everyone's going to be after that kind of magic. The Emperor of Warriors, Sycorax, Druids, and oh my goodness, the King Witch. And, hang on a second, Hula's head swiveled round 360 degrees in that disconcerting ways that owls are so fond of, to get a good look at Tsar. We've heard about the girl's disastrous, dangerous grift. What's wrong with the boy? I beg your pardon, said Caliburn innocently. You heard, said Hula. What's wrong with him? You said he had some sort of gift, too. Well, the boy had this teeny accident with a witch stain, said Caliburn, and again he went into a long, complicated explanation about what had happened, trying to play it all down, but ending with, he is admittedly finding it a little difficult to control. That's not true, objected Tsar. I'm perfectly under control. Tsar took his glove off to show Perdita how brilliantly he could control the witch stain, and a green bolt of lightning shot randomly off it and incinerated her chair. Hurriedly, Tsar put his glove back on again. There was horrified silence. Maybe not perfectly, admitted Tsar. That spell gets rid of witch stains. The spell that gets rid of witches will get rid of Tsar's witch stain as well, though. If it really is a true spell, said Hula, it could be just make-believe. Wish wants so much to find a cure for witches that she has just made up this spell of yours, said Perdita. However, the spell was written with my feather, said Caliburn, so it might be a memory of a spell written by myself in a former life when I was the great wizard Pentaglion. Perdita was impressed. Yes, admitted Perdita. That does mean the spell is worth a closer look. Spelling book, commanded Wish, putting her up her eye patch a little. The spelling book jumped out of Wish's pocket and eagerly turned its own pages to the spell to get rid of witches. Perdita snapped her fingers. The desk that she had been sent flying with her bottom when she was a bear was currently upended. The top against one of the walls, legs stretched out stiffly in the air. The little wooden desk, legs softened and waggled as the desk struggled to turn itself upright. With a final heave, the desk tipped itself the right way up, all 4 legs landing on the floor, and then it scuttled sideways like a crab towards Perdita, coming to a halt in front of her. Everyone had to duck as papers, feathers, pens, books, and boxes flew through the air and landed higgledy-piggledy all over the desk. A chair scuttled into place just in time to catch Perdita as she sat down. Perdita knocked once, twice, thrice on the top of the box, sitting on the desk. The box opened and 5 pairs of eyeglasses waved their legs in the air and grappled with each other in a tangled and untidy mess. "Oh!" exclaimed Wish in delight. "Living spectacles!" The spoon, key, fork, and the pins hopped forward curiously, unsure of what to make of these new enchanted cousins. None of them had ever met anyone else who had enchanted objects before, so this was a fresh and fascinating experience. Spectacles were horrified at this attention, firmly snapping down the lid of their box. "They're a bit shy," warned Perdita, and in response to a quiet word from Wish, the spoon and its companions retreated back into Wish's pockets and hair so as not to alarm the eyeglasses further. Slowly, the box opened, and the eyeglasses blinked through the crack of the lid, like the huge bug eyes of jungle creatures that had just woken up. Blink, blink. Wish held her breath with the effort of trying not to laugh. Gradually, I thought I'd turned too many pages. The eyeglasses climbed out over the edge of the box like cautious little spiders. Haltingly, they stalked gently forward on their long and steady limbs, still clearly a bit sleepy, and circled in front of Perdita, with tentative daddy-long-leg strides so that she could choose one of them to look through. "Choose the one with the lump," whispered Wish. She had already decided that her favourite was the pair of glasses that had clearly been through a difficult time, and had one smashed glass and a stem that had been broken and mended again several times. "Oh, yeah, I love that pair," said Perdita, "but this time I think I'll go for the rose-coloured ones." "Oh, no," said Hula, furiously putting her wings in front of her eyes. "Mistress, not the rose-coloured ones. When will you ever learn?" But the 4 other pairs of spectacles scrambled back into the box, clearly delighted to be able to go back to sleep. And the pair with the pink glass and twig-like stems stalked up Perdita's nose, onto her face, and settled themselves down. "Now, let me see," said Perdita, adjusting themselves more firmly and opening up the spelling book. Seconds. "Yes, this is clearly one of our real wizard spells, and it is an exceptionally powerful love spell." "I knew it," said Caliban in delight. "There are 5 ingredients," continued Perdita, "and the number 5 is very important in wizard beliefs because there are 5 elements: air, fire, water, earth, and aether. There are 5 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter, and eternity. And there are 5 directions: north, south, east, west, and centre." "Why would a love spell work to get rid of witches?" asked Zoe. "Because witches are the opposite of love, so love may be the only thing that will work against them," said Perdita. "The 5 ingredients here are all the ingredients you need for a long and lasting love. Giant's last breath is forgiveness. Feathers from a witch is desire. Tears from a frozen queen is tenderness. Scales of a Nukkalevi is courage. And tears of the druid from the Lake of the Lost is endurance." "The good news is that we already have the first 3 ingredients," said Caliban. "And the bad news," said Hula, determined to look on the gloomy side, "is that the last 2 ingredients are impossible to get." "Oh, but you can help us, Perdita, because you're the best," Caliban reminded her, landing on her shoulder and nibbling on her ear. It appeared that Perdita had a tiny flaw. "No, mistress, no. Do not fall for him," begged Hula. "Do not let your brother sweet-talk you again." But a small smile had already appeared on Perdita's face, and her eyes behind the rose-coloured glasses began to twinkle. "I am the best, aren't I?" admitted Perdita. "You're the best. You are the best. You're the most marvellous, magnificent best," said Caliban. "And see how you love an impossible quest." The human and the raven began to sing together some old tune that they both knew from childhood. Oh, my goodness. And Perdita's glasses rushed to join in the dance. "We're the best, we're the best, we're just the most marvellous, magnificent best. See how we love an impossible quest. Make butters that fly, make sticks that can walk, unfeasible mirrors that see and can talk. Lift curses that shrivel and dry up the rain. Wake love that has died and will not grow again. Impossible things, nonsensical things, let me live my life with impossible things. I'm a bear, you're a bird. That's a ridiculous premises. clearly absurd. But for ludicrous magic we are the last word, because we're the best, we're the best. We're just the most marvellous, magnificent best, and see how we love an impossible quest. Oh, I love it here, said Wish. Please, please, please let me in. You can stay, said Perdita, excitedly opening wide her arms. This is the challenge I've been waiting for. It was so wonderful after weeks of wandering, friendless and alone, horribly aware that they were cursed and outlaws, to have someone actually wanting them to stay. Hurrah! Said Caliburn, and Wish's heart leapt only to fall again as Hula the little owl landed on the desk and waddled to the centre of it, her wings on her hips. Hang on a second, fumed Hula. Don't forget, I have to say yes too. What if the other children in the school write home to their parents to say that we're hiding these outlaws? The Druids will shut the whole school down, not to mention sending us all off on some deathly shadow quest. Ooh, you're right, said Perdita. Thank you, Hula. We'll have to disguise Wish's enchanted objects. Bring them out, Wish. The spoon jumped briskly from the top of Wish's head, followed by the key, fork, and pins, and they trotted out onto the desk in front of Perdita. Perdita blinked twice, 3 times, and slowly the little objects changed colour from grey to gold. The enchanted things were absolutely thrilled with their transformation. They stuck out what would be their chests if they were human, and paraded about the desk, bursting with pride at their new look. They're still made out of iron, exclaimed Perdita, but now they look like they're gold. And what are we going to do about the warrior? Said Hula, pointing at Bodkin. Yeah, he's a bit trickier, admitted Perdita, looking thoughtfully. We could disguise him as a hob. They're not very good at magic. What's a hob? Asked Bodkin, knowing he wasn't going to like the answer. Perdita blinked once, twice, 3 times. Said Bodkin as he looked down at the soft brown fur that had suddenly appeared all over his body. My father would be so ashamed if he could see me now. And the tail, really, was that necessary? I'm so sorry about that, said Perdita. You can't be a hob without a tail. It's brilliant, Perdita, brilliant, said Caliburn admiringly. It is brilliant, isn't it? Said Perdita with such satisfaction. Perdita disguised Zar's green arm by turning the rest of him green as well, and did the same for all of Zar's companions, including the snowcats, the sprites, Lonesome the werewolf, and Wish herself. Even the one sprite's peregrine falcon and Caliburn himself were turned a very bright, unnatural green, which Caliburn thought made him look ridiculous. If anyone asks, say you are bog wizards from the east, said Perdita. Finally, she lent Wish her pair of broken glasses to wear over her eye patch. Maybe you could just not mention about their magic eyes, said Perdita, and just try and give the impression that the magic is coming from somewhere else. Oh, I can do that, said Wish. But I haven't said yes yet, warned Hula. Please, though. Please say yes, said Caliburn, sensing weakness. We've answered all your questions. The disguises are wonderful. Won't you give us a chance? After all, they are family, said Perdita. Everyone is chasing us, said Caliburn. Well, wait. We're cold and we're hungry, said Bodkin. Wish laid a hand on Hula's wing. She looked into the little owl's eyes. We're scared and we've nowhere else to go, said Wish. There was a long silence. Hula looked at them all, bedraggled, covered in scratches. Bodkin, turned into a hob, was limping. The Zar boy had a really nasty wound on his leg that looked like it was going septic. It would take a harder owl than Hula to turn down such a plea. Oh, bother, sighed Hula. Bother. All right, then, you're in. But that boy with the cursed hand better not start misbehaving or you're all out again. We're in! Shouted Caliburn. And way up at the entrance to Perdita's study, the Piskies, who had been trying to eavesdrop but hadn't been able to hear anything, heard the loudness of this cry and reacted jubilantly, shouting, They're in! Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah! The longer you stay here, the better, said Perdita's warm, hypnotic voice. We'll give you time to heal, and you can have so much to learn. Stay here for as long as you can. All right, then, said Zar grumpily. We'll stay. But not for too long. And in his head he thought, just until I can burgle some of those druid's tears. Perdita nodded and then turned to Ariel. You can add that that we took from the forest fire to the fire on my hearthstone. Sprite, whose name is Ariel, said Perdita. You'll be happy there. So Ariel opened his firebox, and when he added the little piece of flame to Perdita's fire, the flames there burnt bright and high, as if they were welcoming it. But why would you want a piece of fire from such an unhappy place? Asked Wish. You're already asking questions. How wonderful, said Perdita, which was interesting, because Wish was normally told off for asking too many questions. Life is made up of so many things, happy, sad, indifferent, and you cannot ignore the sad things, or even the indifferent ones. That drop of fire will only make my own fire the stronger. Now that Hula had finally agreed to let them into the learning place, she became very practical. Okay, I'm going to go and show you all to your sleeping quarters now, and Hula, you can get warm and dry. The snowcats and magical creatures can stay with you, but there's a special area for giants. This bear needs to go urgently to a sleeping cave. It's way past its bedtime for the winter. The sleepy bear agreed with a great bear yawn. You're just in time for supper at the dining hall, finished Hula. So I'll take you to that, and then I'll drop the door and the boys off at the infirmary. They'll all need medical attention. And then they trooped up to the stairs to be greeted with rapturous delight by the Piskies. Perdita turned Crusher green, and then she hurried off, saying she had to work to do, making good the hole they made in the magic, protecting the school by bringing iron in with them. Hula would look after them in the meantime. 1 bear, 1 giant, 2 drowned humans, 3 wolves, 3 snowcats, 9 useless sprites, 1 peregrine falcon, and a baby, all the colour green. And a hob, welcome all, sang the sprites, Piskies, as they trooped off towards the sleeping quarters. Oh, for goodness sake, said Hula. You're home, welcome to your home, sang everyone, all together at full blast. Your magical, marvellous, magnificent new home. And that is the end of chapter 7. Today is Friday, and that means half term is next week. So I will not be here. I've lost my bookmark. I will not be here next week. So we're having a week off. I will see you in a week's time. Have a lovely half term, enjoying hopefully some more sunshine, and I will see you in a week. Same place. Have fun. Bye-bye.